All right, so next one.
So up next, we're going to talk about the slam dunk contest. We had 3 contestants this year. You had Cassius Stanley from Indiana. You had Obi Toppin, rookie from the New York Knicks. And you had Anthony Simons from the Portland Trail Blazers, who also have Derrick Jones Jr., who won the slam dunk competition last season.
Year. Yep.
So give me your letter grade and why on this year's slam dunk competition at halftime of the All-Star game.
I'm going to give it a C. Okay. I'm going to be nice that you can tell that they tried. So I didn't get my solo episode going on this weekend. Some other things came down and kind of threw it off. I may throw something special in the middle of the week or something out there to go along with Jimmy's solo later this week, or we'll see what happens. But there's something I was thinking about, and I had been researching and really running through my brain about the dunk contest. The fact that Zion was supposed to have been was wanted to be the 4th contestant, and he passed. That matters. That's a really big deal. And that shows the problem of the dunk contest, hence why I gave it a C. The dunk contest has become the event where a lot of your no-name players come in to get recognition. There's no incentive for a star to get into it. If a star gets into it and they lose, we will scrutinize them for the end of eternity. So what's the value of them going out there and putting themselves out there like that in a competition that there is a chance that they may miss a dunk or two and lose? Back when Jordan and them was in it, you didn't really hear about that type of scrutiny. And at the same time, the league wasn't as popular as it is today. You don't have the social media aspect where people, can real time clown you. Jordan and them just went in to do it because it was something to do, and it was also extra money for them. So for them, it was added to their paycheck. Whereas today, these guys make so much money, there's no value in a LeBron James, honestly, and even a Zion jumping into it. So it matters that we lost out on stars participating in this contest. So I gave this a C because of one thing and really one thing only. I think it is time that we outlaw the underleg dunk. Get rid of it. Tell every player you're not allowed to do it. You're done. As we talked about on the last show, the biggest thing to me about the dunk contest is they're trying to be super creative, but at the same time, knowing their limitations, they're just repeating dunks that we've seen all the time. But a lot of the dunks that we're seeing as being repeated is one that we know is super difficult, but everybody does. The under the leg dunk. From the side of the goal, from the front of the goal, from behind the goal, sideways, loop it from the back side of your leg underneath your leg and a dunk. We've seen every angle you could possibly do with an under leg dunk. It's time to retire that dunk. And because we saw that 3 times, I'm done. That's why you get a C. We're done.
Okay. That's interesting. I think how you talked about how stars don't want to get in this because there's nothing for them to gain. And if they lose, they're going to be getting clowned by you got beat by Cassius Stanley, something like that.
Exactly.
Just like if they went down to Rec League and they can win the game 95-5, but if 3 of those 5 came from a tray in their eye, that's all you're going to see on social media and people are going to clown them for it. So I get that.
It's a little different with that part because you see them at the Drew League and you see them just cooking. Because the thing is at that level of the 1%, irregardless, somebody may hit a shot on you every once in a while.
Right.
You still gonna cook them all. You gonna cook them all. So you get a little bit of leeway on your Drew League stuff. But I get your point. Yes.
Okay, yeah, but I give it a C. There was, for the reasons that you mentioned, nothing especially spectacular about this. If these were 3 stars, not even superstars, so not even like LeBron James or someone like him, but if these were 3 stars performing these same dunks, that would have elevated what we saw to B+ level. Like the first dunk that Obi Toppin did, I mean, it involved, between the legs or whatever, but the first time he did it, it didn't make sense. Like, and I love dunks that really don't make sense. Like, all right, it's like, okay, let me see the replay. What exactly did he do? Because it's like I caught the movements, but they didn't register as far as how they fit together. So if Zion Williamson would have came in this competition and done that dunk, people will be talking about it as one of the greatest dunks ever because of who it came from.
Right.
So this whole thing can be fixed if they found a way, like we talked about in the last show, to incentivize stars enough to where they see at least some value in this, even in losing. So
that's the problem.
Yeah, I know. One thing I did like about this competition is it was all former slam dunk champions to be the judges, and they cleaned it up, if you notice, to prevent any of the D-Wades and Scottie Pippens from colluding and manipulating to destroy the integrity of the slam dunk contest. Even though it's not necessarily an event to be taken serious, still, you want some integrity in this. The ones who deserve to win, should win, and that
Make a
didn't
good
happen
point.
last year per se.
Make a good point.
So I give it a C.
Get to see.
give it to you
I got you.
overall.
The one thing I will add, and I think the saving grace for it was Anthony Simons.
Mm-hmm.
The bunnies at 6'4" that he showed, I did not realize he could jump that high. And then he almost, even in a COVID era, kissed the rim. I mean, he protected his teeth.
Right.
But at the same time, if he was able to do that and then quickly turn his head away and gam it as high as he got.
Bruh.
I mean, the fact that he was able to grab the ball at the top of the square, which is just about 12 feet, like it's 11 and some change. It's just under 12. That's when I was like, oh, that's cool. But the issue is the competition was kind of in the world of we're trying to be as creative as possible, and that leads to not executing on the dunk properly. Kind of like how Cassius Stanley missed, and well, he missed on one, but he failed on two attempts before that without actually attempting it, and then it just got to where just do something. And that's where the allure of the dunk contest has gone away. If you think about like with Nate Robinson, I hated his because he kept doing the dunks like 50 times before he could actually complete it. No shade to the man himself, but he was getting creative. But at the same time, you get tired and then you kept missing and you kept missing and you kept missing. Everybody's like, all right, Doc, can you finally make this dunk sweet? That's why they instituted the 2-attempt rule, which changed the creativity level. So, yeah, they need a new format.
Well, you know what? As far as with stars, do you think part of the problem is that because they all get along so well, by and large, that they don't want to go against each other? Like, they don't want to compete. I don't want to compete against my friend or my brother. Whereas back in, like, the 80s or 90s, they looked at it as a competition. They really wanted to beat each other.
Well, you see them try to do that in the dunk contest. I mean, three-point contest. You see that in the skills competition, which we didn't even talk about.
See what?
Them going at each other, trying to beat each other in the competition.
I mean, yeah, they are. They're trying to win, but it's all ha-ha jokes, good job. I don't mean like that. I mean, like, seriously wanting to beat, approaching it like a competitor, a true competitor.
That's how they do it in three-point contest. That's about the only one in the skills competition. The
saying.
dunk contest is the one there's nothing about it where you're going to kill the other person unless they're going to be able to go getting dunked on. Now, I mean, it'd be funny if they had a competition to see who could dunk on, who could get posterized. That would be a good way to make the dunk contest better. Just see who just dunk on each other.
That, yeah.
Put Rudy Gobert in the middle and have LeBron James run at him full speed to see if he can stop him.
No, I can see it now. It is part of the problem. They get along way too well. They don't want to go against each other. So
I don't know.
Again, there's even more of a lack of incentive of being in this competition because they approach competition differently. I'm not talking about like playoffs and all that. Yeah, they want to beat each other, but in something like this, center stage, they really do psychologically approach it differently than they did back when we were growing up. And that's part of the problem.
Well, I think, like I said, I think the problem with the dunk contest is there's no incentive for them to do it because all it is they're going to either lose or we expect them to win. And most of your superstars aren't really aren't special creative dunkers, I guess you could say. Like LeBron says, he's an in-game dunker. Zion looks like an in-game dunker to me. I don't think he's really that creative outside of his in-game dunks. I mean, that was the thing with LeBron. So I don't know who are the stars that you want to see in the dunk contest actually doing dunks. Because a lot of the stars nowadays are not that tall. Outside of like your Jason Tatum.
So we start with Giannis. Let's start with Giannis. I'd love to see Giannis.
Do what? Run and stick his arm out and dunk like he's on Space Jam?
Whatever he wants to do.
That I do not think that he's a creative dunker.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't just do the Space Jam dunk.
I think that's basically all we've got from him. Free throw line dunks over and over. Can we outlaw that one too?
Okay, so with a year to prepare, with a creative dunking coach, you think that's all Giannis could come up with?
Yeah.
So then you have no faith that Giannis couldn't do anything with his freakish athleticism. He couldn't do better than that.
No.
So you have I don't agree.
I have zero faith in any of them when it comes to that.
I don't agree at all.
Wasn't Giannis in the dunk contest? Wait a minute. Giannis was in the dunk contest before.
Okay, was that before he was Giannis?
Yes, it was before he got in the womb. You're right.
We don't want to see that Giannis. We want to see this Giannis.
It was before
MVP Giannis.
It was before he got in the womb. You are very much correct. No, it was right when at his ascension. Giannis has been in the dunk contest.
Yeah,
before.
So Giannis, he owes us another one. Zion owes us one. LeBron James been owed us an appearance in the slam dunk contest.
Yes.
Who else?
It was in 2015. He was in there.
6 years ago, he wasn't Giannis.
He was Giannis.
Nah.
He was Giannis. He was Giannis.
He wasn't the superstar.
It didn't have to be.
Yes, he did.
You want to know why? You want to know why? You know what my point is?
Yes, he did.
You know what my point is?
What's
Like
your
I say,
point?
my point with this.
Okay, go ahead.
The whole point of people getting in the dunk contest is to get recognized. It is the spot to get your people's attention on you.
No, I agree with that, but that has to change. That's the problem.
There's
with
no
this slam dunk
incentive for
contest.
stars to be in there. They're already known.
Mm-hmm.
What incentive?
Well, no, but if they approach
What's
it
their
that way,
incentive?
if they're approaching it that way, yes,
No,
that
but
cannot
what's-
be their incentive.
But what's their incentive? There is no incentive.
Well, I
is my
mean,
point.
okay,
You are not going to find one. There is no incentive.
There is an incentive.
There's zero incentives.
There's no incentive for a superstar to get into the dunk
No,
contest.
there is zero.
Okay,
Incentive.
not being able to add slam dunk championship winner to your name like so many other of the all-time greats before who have been in this.
Nope.
That's not an incentive enough.
Nope.
Beating the competition is not incentive enough.
They beat the
Maybe
competition in
not.
other ways.
But there are incentives. There
There's
are other
zero
incentives beyond
incentive.
that.
There's
Yes,
zero
there
incentive. There's zero incentive. There's
having
no
the
incentive.
opportunity free from competition in game to show your God-given athleticism and creativity, whether you came up with it on your own or whether you manufactured it with a teammate or a coach, that's not an incentive?
No.
So if you had hops like that ability, and you're in the NBA, you would find no reason to get into the slam dunk contest.
Zero.
Okay. And that's not to say,
I'm already famous.
Right.
I'm already famous. I do in-game dunks, and people get to wow and ooh and ah over me.
Mm-hmm.
What value is it for me to get in a dunk contest to potentially lose to a guy who's probably 10 years younger than me, whose Boeings are showing, but he's 10 years younger
That's
than
what
me?
I'm saying. Without those guys,
no.
Look at it this way. All right, look at it this way. If LeBron James goes to the NBA Finals, right, and let's say he loses to the Brooklyn Nets, that's a loss, right? But we kind of understand. If he goes into the finals and faces the Washington Wizards, in some universe, 14,225,000. This is what happened in one universe. So he faces them. That's going to look really, really bad, right? Because of the level of competition. So if you go into a slam dunk contest, if I'm LeBron and I lose to Giannis or I lose to Zion, is that really that bad compared to losing to a Cassius Stanley or an Anthony Simons? That looks bad. But losing to another great dunker who's a superstar with that athleticism, I mean, okay, so I lost, but that's not that bad. I'm not going to get, scorned for that in social media by losing to one of them.
So, like I said, if I'll put it like this.
Okay.
If they had two separate dunk contests, one for stars and one for the rising stars, then I can see that being more fun with a Zion, a LeBron, a Giannis. Throw in Jason Tatum, something like that. Maybe that would be entertaining. Probably that may be fun.
I like that idea.
They may be fun, but the dunk contest has historically been a space for rising stars to get notoriety because it's the one thing that truly excites everybody about All-Star Weekend.
And to that point, I think a big part of the problem is these rising stars don't become stars anymore.
No, most of them don't. Well, not yet.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it is that a lot of them, it takes.
I mean, come on.
It takes 2 to 3 years for them to get to that point. That's the problem. Like, I don't know if Hamidou Diallo is going to become a star. I don't know about Derrick Jones. He won one. Remember that?
They're not going to.
We don't know if they're going to get there yet. We didn't know if Giannis was going to. Giannis got in the dunk contest 2015, and all of a sudden he started lifting weights and started eating people, and then now he's mad. He's that cannibal lifestyle helped him.
Okay.
So we don't know.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. You know what? Let's jump into the All-Star game on the other side.